And with me in studio now is Mr. Matt Chipman. Matt is the president of a company called Green Chip Investor Relations. Matt, always good to see you.
Glad to be here again, Don.
You know, Matt, I was talking about this during the monologue. There's some disturbing signs in the big cap markets with respect to the stock market. I mean, I know we're close to all-time highs, but something that's kind of disturbing is that we've seen at the same time bond yields and the S&P at or near all-time highs, which has never really happened before. There's always been a safety net. Either one's been up or one's been down. And when that's been the case and you want to take a profit in stocks, you move it into low-price bonds and vice versa, that safety net is gone.
Well, it's a conundrum that's going on right now. I mean, you've got people have trouble where to put their money. Earnings are somewhat strong, so they're applauding the good earnings reports that are coming out, but at the same time, you know, you're not going to still get very much money on your interest at the bank. Though the rates are not up, and I don't think rates are really going to go up very much anytime soon. You know, the government, like we spoke about, has to keep interest rates down. So I would think eventually some of that money's got to spill into the mid cap and small cap arena.
I think you're right. Well, as we said off the air before we came on to this interview, the Fed has its hands tied. Because if it raises interest rates, what that will do to the national debt is astounding. I mean, it's already approaching $20 trillion probably by the second quarter of 2017. And $20 trillion is an incredible number. I mean, we talked about this before. If we tried to pay that off at $1 million per hour, it would take 2,300 years to pay that off. If you raise interest rates even a little bit, that's just going to accelerate the growth of that national debt to boundaries that we may never recover from.
Right. I mean, our hope is that eventually there will be incentives for small companies to get into business, you know, to grow and hire and you know, grow this economy. And I think what you have left are the ones that have survived the last 8 years. If those are the ones I think that are on the cusp of becoming really successful. There are still some public companies that exist out there, small companies that are on the verge of really getting it known, and they've stuck around. They've been able to raise money in a very difficult capital raising market. You know, it's tough for them to go out and get money, but some of them are poised, I think, to take off.
Well, you and I have been following small cap companies for close to 20 years. We've been doing this show for 20 years. We focus exclusively on the small cap market. And a lot of analysts are starting to look at the small cap market as a place to hedge against a possible big cap meltdown.
Yeah, I mean, I've noticed that when I've had my best years, it's kind of strange. It's been when the markets have been a little bit in turmoil, you know, when they've come off. I don't know what the market's going to do. I've actually read some articles recently where big cap stocks are going to continue going higher. The housing industry is starting to show signs of stabilizing and actually doing better. There's some signs pointing that, you know, a stable environment. You just don't want people to become complacent. You know, you don't want to think everything's because right when you become complacent, that's when the markets are going to adjust, you know.
Well, the greatest fools are the ones that think when everything's bad, it's going to stay bad, and when everything's good, it's going to stay good. I mean, the very nature of an economy is that it's cyclical. It's going to go up, it's going to go down. There's no such thing as an economy that's a straight line. It's a curvy line. Certainly.
And, you know, I've been focusing a lot of my energy into some turnaround situations. In fact, even though I'm an investor relations company, I've been very involved with one company in particular that is trying to turn around, and it is publicly listed. So, you know, we're putting on an event here coming up in a month. It's in Nashville, and we're actually encouraging people that want to see something that I think it has to do with the building industry, providing flood-proof and hurricane-proof type of building, you know, and especially what's happened with the hurricane recently, and you see the flooding going on. We think we've got one answer to building.
People want to know more about what Green Chip Investor Relations done. Where can they get more information about you?
Well, you can visit my website at greenchipir.com or send me an email. Send an email to Matt, M-A-T-T, at greenchipir.com, and I promise I'll respond to you. Give me a phone number, I'll give you a call.
Matt Chipman, Green Chip Investor Relations. Matt, always a pleasure having you on the program. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me again.